Guys, I'm going to hold your hand while I try to walk you through this conversation. But this one's for my ladies and my gentlemen today. I don't think you guys understand the importance of realizing and dating within your league. I know this conversation seems tired, but this is why we see podcasts like Kevin Samuels or the Sprinkle Chick or even whatever podcast, Fresh and Fit, constantly doing millions of views because you guys absolutely love watching harsh truth be doled out to the other gender to humble them back to their league while implementing no self-reflection, no accountability, no introspection. Y'all.
That's not true. How many times did I hold you accountable for being in a relationship with the wrong woman? And what did I tell you? It's your fault. It's your fault for not seeing the red flags. I hold you accountable all the time. When I see simps, I hold you accountable. When I see a man that is delusional, I tell you he's delusional.
I will sit there and tell everybody else where they belong with no idea where you can do. We got an entire generation of men who want to deem themselves high value on the account of their income, as if your only value as a human being boils down to how.
Well, if that's what most women are looking for, and a man has what women want, of course he will be high value. It doesn't matter how he is as a human being. You want to know why? Because us as a species, men and women, are usually very shallow.
How many materialistic possessions you can acquire before you die and go somewhere that none of them can come with you to. The women aren't any better. We've got an entire generation of women with this inflated sense of self-worth because they hop on Beyonce's internet and post a picture at a strategic angle in warm lighting with 10 pounds of makeup, a filter, lip filler, and injections all throughout their face, fake tits, fake ass, and then they get a demographic of men who haven't touched women since Tupac was alive, commenting that they're goddesses or they're bad bitches.
True, the simps. Oh my god.
Or they're queens for that matter, when in reality, they're just a fucking catfish. Now they think they deserve a high value man because they do high numbers of false skin advertisement. It's honestly sickening and disturbing that men and women have convinced themselves that their value and their worth are whittled down to their income or their looks. You guys will base entire relationships off these standards and then wonder.
Yeah, I did that too. And I told you, I admitted that I was wrong, that I didn't know what to look for. I've told you this. I told you I've been stupid. So I'm not saying it's only the women's fault. I've never said that.
Why you're always depressed or lonely or failing at love because you're being shallow. You can't sit here and label yourself a high value man and only go after women based off of their waist measurement, their age, their body count, how many children they have, and then act surprised when all you attract is bird brain ass gold diggers. Not only have you objectified them, you've objectified yourself because congratulations, you're just a wallet for a bird brain bitch who's got a tiny waist up until she grows up and decides, I want a real relationship. Just as disposable as you think she is, you are now too. This is a two-way street. And please understand that women...
Yes, but there is a double standard. Women as age, they lose their value. A wealthy man, as long as he's wealthy, he doesn't lose his value.
Women aren't the only one using the internet to create an inflated sense of self-worth. You got dudes out here painting an image like they're getting money so they can look like a high-value man because they want to attract these materialistic women. But they go after materialistic women with no materials. And then what do? They hop on the internet talking about all women, all women. It's not all women. It's all women you go after.
Yeah, that's the same thing I've been telling you. It's the same for women and it's the same for men. Yeah.
You're the common denominator. Please understand, this smoke is for everybody. The materialistic bitches, they're not any better. You can't publicly transactionalize your sexuality and expect a good man to put you on a pedestal or make you a wife.
Yeah, but here is another double standard. Because no matter what a woman does, no matter how bad of a past she has, there will always be a simp, a white knight, to come and save her. Now for the men, if they have no money, if they don't have good looks, if they don't have good genetics, nobody will save them. It's another double standard. Life is not fair.
Bad men won't put you on a pedestal and make you a wife. Why? Because you've objectified yourself. You have now dehumanized yourself. You have a price. You can be bought. And the reality of the matter is that's a non-sustainable way of living. I don't care what tell me. You're not going to want to be treated like an object for the rest of your life. You're not going to want to be in a relationship where you have a price tag or you're always boiled down to how you look. That's going to grow old just like you. And either they're going to throw you out or you're going to get tired of it. And when you return to the normal dating market, nobody's going to want you because now you are used goods. Nobody wants somebody who traded their life fulfillment and happiness for a Birkin bag or a trip to the Maldives. Are you out your rabbit ass mind? And it's not just the gold digging, the high value men, the catfishes, or the transactionalizing sexuality that's creating this massive disconnect. A lot of you are delusional. You don't even know who you are, little alone what league you fall in, what one you should be operating in, or what you even want out of a partner. I don't know how y'all got so sent off that you think expectations and standards should all be some number. Age, height, weight, body count, number of kids, income, six-pack.
Well, this is where the problem is. She doesn't understand that when men look for certain things in a woman, there are studies that prove that if a woman has a high body count, it's not good to be in a relationship with her. It's not good to make her your wife, because that increases the chances of you getting cheated on. The youth part, of course, we look at age because we want a young woman to have kids with. It's evolutionary biology. It's in us, in our DNA, to want a young woman to reproduce, to have healthy kids. So it's not just something vain or shallow. No.
6 inches. People are not in math equations. There's so much more to a successful relationship than how much they weigh or how many people they've slept with.
Yeah, it's clear she didn't read many studies where it shows that it does matter.
The factors you should be focusing on when you're choosing a lifelong partner are shared purpose, communication, intention, understanding, effort, morality, connection, chemistry, physical attraction for that matter.
Yeah, those mattered 50 years ago, 100 years ago. Now it's a totally different thing. Men and women are looking at different things. Love is not what it used to be.
And the most disturbing part about all of this is there are only two leagues that exist out there right now for single people to operate within. It's the same for men that it is for women. League number one, prototype number one. That is the overinflated sense of self-worth because their online avatar commands more clout than they actually deserve on the account of who they are as a person operating in the real world. League number two, prototype number two, they have a substantially depleted sense of self-worth because type number one has created so much vapid propaganda circulating dating that they believe if their numbers aren't right, they're not worthy of love. Or they ran into type number one in the real world and just got ran through the ringer. If you are in league number one, stay in your and leave the rest of us normal people alone. We don't want your league. Love does not live there.
See, what she's telling us, it's actually true, but it's also a fantasy. She thinks that we should all live in this fantasy where everybody stays in their lane and everybody does what they are supposed to, but that's not real life. So I get her good intentions and the video is actually good. But she's also delusional if she thinks this is going to help or this is going to work. We don't live in a fantasy land. It's not going to happen as you think. People aren't going to follow a certain lane, a certain league. No, they won't. People do whatever they want. And you shouldn't expect anyone to do what's right and what you tell them. No. People do whatever they want.
There, life will not flourish there. Please stop making us your company in your miserable attempt to find love. If you are in league number two, stop dating people in league number one. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Stop Stop listening to the rhetoric, reposting the memes, tuning into the podcast. If we starve them of attention, they will eventually shut up. I don't give a chicken fried how much propaganda you try to force feed me, what podcast is currently trending, or how many witty and clever memes you regurgitate. I don't give a sprinkle is funniest, or if the passport bros have any valid points. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. You will never convince me otherwise. Men will always need women. Women will always need men. We were quite literally by design made for each other. And maybe, just maybe, wild concept, right? If you start...
No, she's not right. We weren't meant to be monogamous. I understand what she's trying to do. But unfortunately, she doesn't have all the facts. She knows that some things are true that we're saying. We're not stupid and we're not just saying it for propaganda or something like that. But she doesn't care if we're right on certain things. She only sees things as she wants. So you can't convince her of anything else. And frankly, by ignoring everything else and by ignoring the stats, you're just looking stupid. I'm sorry, but you're just looking delusional and stupid.
Basing your love life and the people you choose to share it with off the merits of their heart, their intentions, their morality, their life's purpose, the connection, the chemistry, hell, even the sexual attraction, you might be able to find a love.
No, that's false. Morality doesn't get you anything. If you're not smart enough and you don't know how to navigate the dating scene today, you will have all the morals and you will want to love that woman and do everything for her and you will be the perfect man. How many of you married a woman and done everything right and she left and she took everything?
That has the capacity to withstand the test of time. You guys are bitter and lonely because you think every woman is a pocket pussy and every dude is a wallet. You objectify the opposite sex, but then you want to be treated like a human. Make that make sense to me. If you've made it this far into this video without being triggered, offended, or bored, I just need you to stop.
Oh, I think it's a good video.
Stop. Pause for a second and take measure without your ego. Are you part of league number one? Do you have an overinflated sense of self-worth because you've portrayed yourself as somebody who meets all of these metrics, these standards, expectations? Hell, maybe you do. Maybe you are high income. Maybe you do have a tiny waist. Maybe you're young with no kids. Maybe your body count is low. Maybe you travel the world doing this, and that, and that's what you want to pursue. That is fine for you, but stop trying to sell us on the idea that your image is our happiness. If you're part of league number two, I highly suggest when it comes to love, you log off the internet and go touch some grass. There are a lot of real people out here right now looking for real, genuine connections that will enrich your life. Throw out their standards and expectations. Don't drink the conclusion.
Okay, so see, another thing that she is, I don't know, delusional or ignorant about is the fact that now in the USA, if you go out to a woman and ask for her phone number, you can be called a creep, and maybe even that woman calls the police on you. So it's not as easy as she says. I get her good intentions, but it's not that easy.
Kool-Aid. Go find you somebody who makes you happy. That's it. That's all. Love and happiness exist out there, and never, not once in the history of my life have I seen anybody able to buy it. I've been getting money for a hot minute, and I can tell you right now, more money, more problems. You can't buy happiness. You can buy a lot of shit that might make you happy in a moment, but if you're looking for something to go to bed to every night and wake up to every morning that makes you feel like your life purpose has been fulfilled, I assure you it's...
Okay, see, even with the money, that's, you say that money doesn't buy you happiness. Tell that to somebody that is struggling each month to pay their bills or their mortgage or their rent. How stress-free would they be if they had 10K in the bank and didn't have to worry about rent, I don't know, mortgage, whatever it is, or 100 grand in the bank? Tell that to that guy. Tell them that money doesn't bring happiness, which when each day he's stressed and he doesn't know if he can pay his next rent, if he's going to be homeless. Tell that to that guy. You can't, because you will sound delusional. So she is not living in reality.
It's not going to come in the form of an object.
And don't think, guys, don't think, oh, you're just bitter or you're just angry. I actually like the video. I like the points that she's making. But she's delusional.
And if you treat people like objects, well, you're selling yourself short. I don't care how high value you think you are.
I don't hate you. I just hate the fact that you let me go like I didn't matter and wasn't worth fighting for.
Mr. White, what would be the first meal that you would feed me?
Salad.
Quick tip for all the guys out there. She got hundreds of other dudes calling her cute. Call her fat, be different.
Are you straight, gay, or something else?
I'm Korean.
What do you look for in a person?
Korean.
But like one human trait you look for someone.
Kind. Sweet.
Korean.
Korean.
All right.
Peace is what a man is looking for.
Men just want a nice, sweet, supportive woman.
The easiest way to keep a man is be the only place he can find genuine peace.
Not beauty, not money, not status. Do we want those things? Yes. But where we find peace, we will settle.
Looks or money, what is more important?
Looks or money?
Yeah.
Looks.
They're lying. They're lying by the way they look. You know they're gold diggers.
Can you guys imagine my dismay as a young woman when I found out that people were being nice to me because they wanted to sleep with me?
Such a shocker. Such a shocker.
Like, I remember I was a waitress and I was like, men are so much nicer than women.
How would you treat a patient who has blood sugar levels high?
I will just tell him not to eat sugar. If he is not having sugar, then where is the problem? Same thing with marriage. If you don't get married, where there is marriage problem? That is why my father used to tell always, no woman, no cry. So no sugar problem.
I stopped dating men twice my age because like the numbers are just getting a little too high. Like when I was 18, it was cute. Like a hot little 36-year-old lawyer guy, you know what I mean? But like I'm 25. I don't want a 50-year-old. Like, that's disgusting. Like, he is nearly dead. I don't want to smell that, okay?
Here's a question for you. What is the best piece of advice you've ever given?
I'm sorry. What was the question again? Her shirt was blue. Her shirt was blue.
I just want to know if other people feels the same way.
Okay.
That I just had a date. It went great. But sometimes after a date, I just feel incredibly sad. Even if everything went well, and I don't know why. Do you feel this way?
No, I'm not overly emotional. No, I don't have problems with my emotions. I keep them in check. I'm not a woman.
And like, every part of me just wanna like block him, self-sabotage, and just never talk to him again, so that like I just disappear. Maybe I'm just too broken to have like a normal relationship. Like it gets so exhausting to overthink everything because you pick up on every little details and vibes, and it's not about other people, it's about me. Even if the most perfect guy shows up in my life, I don't think I can right now.
Women come.
Their standards are so high and they fantasize in their head the man that they want, and when they go on a date, that guy will never live up to the fantasy in her head. Never.
And lead with fit this or you have no value. Men come in and go, all right, I'm here and I'm going to learn how to be the best I can for you. And then women do what? You're taking too long. You're not getting there.
Yeah,
because you haven't fit the box of the fairy tale. I want to say 100%, but I'm going to go 99.9% of women who come in my office, I'm having to work on breaking their fairy tale ideology of their husband. And hold on, let me say this. To his defense, they almost always have an amazing husband. But because his amazingness doesn't fit her idea of amazing, guess what?
What did I tell you? They fantasize how everything should be in their head. And I'm not a therapist.
He ain't shit. To her.
My name is Kenya. This is Carl, my husband of 26 years. And this is Tiger, my husband of 10 years.
Simp. Everybody in the chat. Simp.
Look at this. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Every lady should have 2 husbands. The 12th year of our marriage, Carl and I decided that I was going to have multiple partners. because...
Just look at his face, guys. Can you see the lack of testosterone on his face? I swear I can see the lack of testosterone on his face. The eyes, I don't see the masculinity on him.
I had met and fallen...
And look at her face. I see masculinity on her face. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy, guys?
For another guy. So I came back and reported that to Carl.
So we decided to talk about it. Like, what do we do? How do we go?
Just look at her second husband. I swear, his skin is shinier than her. He looks more feminine than her.
About this, and that began a 2-year journey of Kenya and I just kind of discussing things. We just had to figure things out. So we discussed it for a number of years. I finally came into the knowledge and understanding about feminine, expression, and realized you have to allow women to be free and express themselves. And as a man, I tend to support her in
such a simp,
in doing that.
They're called orbiters. We call those guys orbiters. They're orbiting around you, waiting to get at you. You gotta cut them off too. So what's the difference? You think someone's gonna marry you with 5 guys in the friend zone and let you keep those relationships and
a simp.
Go to dinner with them and go to the gym with them? You think a guy of value is gonna allow that?
See, this is a problematic conversation because yes, I do.
So you marry a guy and he has J-Lo and
say Rihanna. I can't stand her.
Rihanna,
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez. He has all these girls in the friend zone. And he's, hey, I'm gonna go to lunch with Selena Gomez right now. You okay with it?
No.
I'm gonna go to lunch with Ariana Grande. Hey, J-Lo just hit me up. I'm gonna go train her. She wants me to help her with her Pilates. It's okay, wife. I'll be back.
Wow.
Are you okay with that?
No.
So why would he be okay with that?
Right.
Women have extraordinary power to transform a marriage to the extent that you don't have to go to couples therapy. You don't have to send your man to an ayahuasca retreat. If you choose to respect him and show him the appreciation and admiration that can easily stem from the fact that you chose him, you married him. So get into it or get out. But if you're going to stay, there are ways that you can honor this man. So as a woman, my focus is on what can we do as women to secure what it is that we say we want. And most of us, for many deep and valid reasons, don't know how to love a man. We know how to control a man. Why? Because we're fundamentally terrified of men, and that's biologically hardwired.
Women on average tend to have a cynical expectation of men. It's this posture of, you have to prove to me that you're good enough, while simultaneously expecting that he assumes that you are good enough. Most women aren't coming to this proverbial table acknowledging their faults and saying, this is what I need to work on. Most are coming saying that this is what you need to work on.
Yeah, because I'm perfect, I'm a princess, and I deserve everything. And if you don't do everything for me, I'll find another simp.
So even when a woman is encountered with a man who was raised by both parents, there's still an assumption that he has some emotional shortcoming or he doesn't express himself properly. Some women talk to men from a place of emotional or intellectual superiority, and it sets that precedent, and that's what makes him defensive, because now he feels like, oh, what?
They shouldn't talk to you like that from the start. If you let that happen, if you don't say anything about it, you're a simp. From the start, she shouldn't even dare to talk to you like this. If she talks to you from the start like this, she doesn't respect you, you should run.
What? Challenging. You're challenging me and you're expecting the worst out of me. If men are being asked to have grace for women, do our due diligence to understand all the intricacies of what the woman has been through, even her natural cycles and the whole nine, and how that affects her disposition, there needs to be that work done from the female delegation for men. I'm hearing from men that that's not the case. Women are assuming that they've already done the work.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.